In today's video, I want to talk about how you can best answer the question, what do you like to do outside of work? So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing you need to understand is why they are asking this question in the first place. And it's pretty straightforward, actually. They wanted to know what you are like outside of work and how you handle stress and burnout, because that is an actual concern. They also want to know what your personality is like, and by getting an understanding of what your hobbies are and what you like to do outside of work, they can get a better feel of who you actually are, because at the end of the day, the interview is just a very short engagement, and most people put up a facade in terms of who they are, in terms of their personality and so on. And getting an understanding of what your hobby is sheds some insights in terms of who you really are. Now, there are also some common misconceptions about this. The first misconception is that it doesn't matter. And the truth of the matter is, it does matter. So for example, if you're applying for ESPN, that whole job that you're applying for is related to basketball. Well, if you don't follow the NBA or if you don't play basketball, it is very hard for you to connect with others in that field, to connect with your coworkers. It'll just be a lot of effort for you just to keep up. And therefore, it does matter, because in certain trades, in certain lines of work, there needs to be alignment in terms of what your hobbies are versus what you are doing on a day-to-day basis. And this can influence hiring decisions. Now, another misconception that people have is that it's got to be work-related. And the truth of the matter is, it does not have to be work-related. It's what your hobbies are, in a sense, how they indirectly connect to work. So just keep that in mind, that you don't have to give a work-related, what you like to do outside of work question. It can be something that's genuinely outside of work. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is how you can craft your answer. And the first thing about this is you need to be authentic and genuine. If you're not authentic, if you're not genuine, if it's not truly something that you love, you can't fake it. This is not one of those fake it till you make it situations. So using the basketball example again, if the employer is talking about taking three-point shots, who's the GOAT of basketball and why, and the answer for that is Michael Jordan, if you can't answer that question, what happens is that people will know you are faking, you are lying, and you're gone, right? You're gone as a candidate, because you've compromised your trustworthiness. And therefore, be authentic, be genuine. Now, the second ingredient in terms of crafting your answer is that you want to be professional, but also personable. So for professional, you want to maintain a professional tone, right? You don't want to go too far from the script and just let your guard down and just be who you are at the bar kind of thing, right? You are still in an interview setting. However, you want to be personable enough so that people get a sense of who you are outside of work. So you can gush a little bit in terms of why you like this thing. You also want to highlight pieces that may be helpful for work, such as leadership, such as teamwork, and the genuine interest in terms of just digging deeper and deeper into your hobby. Which leads me to my next element that's part of crafting this answer, which is to really demonstrate your commitment to the soft skills involved in this. So using the basketball example, leadership, teamwork, communication, these are all things that are important. Planning, the discipline of practicing, the resilience of playing in a difficult situation, being calm during tight games. These are all pieces that can contribute to someone being an effective team member in a workplace. So these are pieces that you really want to highlight, the soft skills that are involved in your hobby. And the fourth thing you need to be aware while crafting your answer is to avoid controversial topics. So politics and religion, these are typically things that you should steer clear of in the West, because it's just stuff that's off topic. Now, the third thing I want to cover is what not to do while you're talking about this, right? You know, we talked about the crafting. Let's talk about what not to do while crafting. The first of all, you don't want to overshare. You don't want to get too personal. You don't want to disclose too much information, such as the religion and the political things that I mentioned earlier. Another thing that you want to do is avoid anything that may raise a red flag. So anything that may have a negative connotation, such as, for example, if you like to do extreme sports, such as jumping out of a plane without a parachute, these are probably things that you should keep to yourself in case that raises a red flag for the employer. Like this person may not be here after going skydiving. And the third mistake that people tend to make is like cliche answers, such as I like to spend time with family, and then not going too much into details. Now, if your time with family is like playing board games, so that involves strategic thinking, or if it means going hunting, and which means a lot of preparation, patience, and all that, like if you're able to communicate that, then awesome. But if it's just like, oh, I don't like to do much other than just spend time with family, like that doesn't really help. So be sure to give something that's not cliche and link it back to those soft skills that I mentioned earlier. Finally, the fourth thing that you need to understand on how you prepare for this answer is to prepare, and practice it. Because at the end of the day, you can probably expect this to show up. This is actually one of the more common questions that appears in one form or another. So you definitely want to have something prepared. And this answer can generally be applied to many different things because it's just talking about who you are. But you do want to prepare it. You do want to have several hobbies ready along with some of the soft skills and the leadership skills or project management skills, organizational skills, any skill really that can connect back to the work at hand. And you also want to be ready to elaborate, especially if they dig a little more, to really see whether this person actually is interested in basketball or is just something that they're just saying because they want to get the job. And that's it. That's how you answer what do you like to do outside of work. If you found this video to be helpful, please give it a like, share, subscribe, follow wherever you are. If you have any thoughts about it, please let me know in the comments below. Hope to see you around and have a good one.